We always felt that Saudi was the most underserved and highest potential market from back when I mentioned we started in 2013. The raw talent, the size of the market, the consumer excitement for digital products, all these things were all there, but for some reason, it never did take off. It was actually quite a late bloomer, given the fact that they're sitting on the most exciting economy in the region, and that there is a high level of internet connectivity and a high level of usage of cutting edge products. So a lot of people cite the fact that Saudis are among the most, on a per capita basis, engaged on social media platforms like Twitter, or that consume YouTube and other video content on mobile. So they're off the charts on a lot of these indicators, which one would assume would translate into a really booming local startup scene. But somehow those things never kind of connected. Right now, it's the market that I'm seeing have the most exciting growth relatively. I think Dubai remains the epicenter in terms of number of deals, size of deals, and the underlying maturity of the startup ecosystem. But there's no doubt that Saudi is sprinting forward, really propelled by this combination between a compelling, deep local market that's hungry for tech-enabled solutions, along with this new fuel of venture funding that has blossomed as well in the last year or two. The top industry by far is technology and technology driven companies. Over half of about 55% of the companies that we've helped set up in Saudi have been tech and tech-driven companies, are the ones that are forward-looking. They see the market opportunity and the growth potential, and are eager to enter in this type of a structure where they own the entire entity. So that's reflected by a variety of underlying industries, like I mentioned, whether it's fintech, real estate. We helped Kitopi, which is a cloud kitchen. Different types of companies, but the tech-driven ones are the most prevalent. The place to look are some of the large, the later stage venture funds. I mentioned STV, Global Ventures, some of these funds that are investing in companies that are on a scale-up path. And there is no doubt that the next Kareem will have just as Kareem did, there was a very strong and significant Saudi presence. So that's why companies that are like the ones I mentioned, whether it's like Bayut, that realized that they need to be in Saudi, and they need to establish a foothold and market presence. And that's when we were first assessing the impact of the pandemic. We were expecting actually everybody to put their plans for any kind of expansion on hold. We were surprised to see the ongoing interest from companies, especially the sophisticated ones that understand that this is not a overnight decision, and something also that takes some time. So the ones, particularly the ones that have decided on the Saudi market, they know that, okay, the pandemic is here, it will eventually go, but the market's still going to be there, and we're still going to have to go in and access that market, have used this relative down period, in an effective way, which is to get this process going, get all the paperwork attested. Some of the time frame, some of the part that actually takes a lot of time, depending on the complexity of the structure of the owning company, is the company document attestation and notarization. And so they've kind of taken advantage of some of this down period to get that process rolling. This is a great period of time to work on the piping. Like sometimes we're just like always running. And that was our first inclination when it first hit. We're just like, okay, let's launch this product. Let's try this. Let's do this. We tried throwing a lot of things at the wall in a period actually where people just were less likely to buy or to want to engage in a transaction. So instead of doing that, one piece of advice is to take advantage of a relative down period in order to work on the fundamentals, which means, the team, upskilling the team, improving, maybe switching out members of the team, like really kind of like working on the team dynamic internally, right? Working on the machines, which means your processes and, the nuts and bolts of what service or product you're delivering, and really going for excellence.